So I just realized when I had my daughter, some guy, Holden, comes up to me. Mind you, he's homeless. He's living with his grandma. His truck's about to break down. And he needs money. And I mean, he smokes weed. And he called himself Samuel Holden. I mean, if that's even his real name. He sort of like moved into my home. He was younger than me, told me how to parent, living at Cefco, smoking weed, smelled really bad, even after he took a shower. He literally I don't want that around my kids. He would come in from like his work breaks with a beer in his hand, screaming and yelling, like about a coworker or something. Then asking me to pay his phone bills and this and that. And it's like, dude, one, we're not married. Two, we haven't been dating that long. Three, like, you're a bad influence on my kids. And now you're moping on my floor talking about you miss your ex. I miss my ex, blah, blah, blah. And come to find out, I take him to a Sunday brunch with, at Melissa's. And Melissa and him smoke weed on the porch. She starts telling him about like my whole past history 10 years ago, about my 7 months of drug use and me putting myself into a rehab. And which I don't care if the world knows, because I got clean and I did the right thing for my life. And I started going to school and got two degrees and a diploma in medical assisting. And so it's like, you can try to ruin my life behind my back, but it doesn't negate the fact that I've climbed myself out of that, regardless of if you've tried to suppress my, stunt my growth in life. I've still climbed out of, that shadow of being this crackhead, that like people like to call it. And sometimes I even call it. I mean, it's the truth, right? But at the same time, she sits on the porch and she tells him about it. And then she comes to me and she's high. She's high on weed because they were smoking weed out there and I don't smoke. So I was sitting on the couch. Well, she comes in and she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, for what? And she's like, I told him about your previous drug use. And I'm like, God, Melissa, like, why do something like that? It's my choice to let somebody know who I'm dating about my past. Well, now I'm letting the world know so that you can't throw it in my face with every person that I come in contact with, because I'm not ashamed of it. But I mean, obviously I feel guilty of some things, but I'm not ashamed of having the strength to climb myself out of that. Like, not many people do. And anyways, this guy, subliminal as hell, was paid by Paul. I mean, no wonder we went to 107 to eat. Like, what does that sound like to you? 107? It sounds like I'm on drugs, in a sense, like subliminally, because I didn't talk subliminal, and I still don't talk subliminal. And I don't make sense. Like, you can't understand me, everything I say is what I mean. And sometimes it gets under people's skin because they want to hear something else. And that's just not who I am. But Paul paid that guy. I swear to God, Paul paid him off to lie. Because I didn't want to be with him. I didn't like the sex. He was disrespectful at times. His hygiene was bad. And we weren't close enough for me to go through all that with him. It's like the connection was not there. We could be distant friends, but the connection's not there. You're drug dealing with people out on the streets because you need your weed. And I don't want to be associated with any of that. None of it. I don't want you smoking weed out in your truck in my driveway. No. Like, it's just, I don't. And I didn't want to take care of a fourth child either. And so that pissed him off. And Paul and Melissa and Samuel Holden got together and came up with a plan to lie about me. No wonder my life started going downhill when I was working at WePack, because that's the same time I broke up with Holden. People were looking at me like I was freaking crazy. And I'm like, you don't even know the half of it. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I am working every day, taking care of kids and going to school. I don't have time for this.